thing that really pissed me off again was that he hopped in the car with this side chick in front of my face.
She won't even come out the
Made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion.
Like
Made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion, like go yeah.
What is good, Game Mafias? It's your girl Kiana J. Welcome back to my channel. It's been some years since I did a little story time, and over the years I done collected a whole lot of story times that I should have been telling to you guys. And when I say drama, I got the drama for your mama. This is a very juicy story time. You guys ain't never seen this side of me. But all I can say is growth. Ha! Growth, yes. It's a miracle what a few years can do in changing your ways on how to go about situations. But let me be clear. Just because I've changed, it doesn't mean I won't swing, okay? So don't freaks with me. All right, so before we get started into this juicy story time, definitely make sure you are following me on Instagram at Kiana J. There you will be able to participate in polls and such questions as I answer them on my IG story. So definitely make sure you're in tune with that so you can get a peep of my life outside of YouTube. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the story, because honey, dirty. So for my subscribers that seen the video that I posted last month about why I ended my 5-year relationship, I do have that video on private as of now, just because I felt like I was going out like a punk, all that crying and stuff, and like although that was like real flesh live emotions, I don't like seeing myself go out like that. But to catch some of you up who didn't see it, so yeah, basically I ended my 5-year relationship with this guy who I still talk to occasionally. He was crazy, insecure, harmful, and a cheater, which brings the story till today. Now y'all, as I mentioned before, when I say I done been through some stuff with that dude, I done been through some stuff with that dude. Alright, so to start off, you know, our first 2 years was peachy and cream, etc. Our 3rd year together is where we started having the most issues. Insecurity was the biggest issue within that relationship in that year, as well as dishonesty. So of course with insecure, the guy would always think I would be cheating on him or etc. if I was to go out to a party, or heck, I could just be even just hanging with my friends. We can do so much but go to the mall and God would still think I was cheating on him. And I was like 19, 20 at the time, so like I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I like to go out and party with my friends, etc. Especially after leaving the nest, after being under a pastor's first ladies. Now I ain't saying us preacher kids is the baddest ones, but I just feel like we're interested in knowing what the world is like. What have we been missing out on, kind of thing. So yeah, with that being said, growing up with a strict dad, there's a limit to everything. We couldn't go everywhere, we couldn't hang out with everybody. So being that, you know, I done moved away, got to college, experienced the college life on campus for the first time, met some friends, blah, blah. Of course, you know, I'm gonna wanna go out, I'm gonna wanna party, I'm gonna go wanna drinky drink, you know what I'm saying? Just anything outside that nature. So basically, after me doing that every other month, he did let me know, like, if I don't stop going to parties or hanging out with these certain people, then basically he was going to cheat on me. Who would even tell somebody that? Like, if you feel like you gotta cheat on somebody and you feel like you gotta tell them, like, don't even say that. Just break up with them, go live your life and leave that person alone. Like, why cheat when you could just be single? Hello, message. So when he actually told me those words, of course I didn't believe the dude. We had already been together 2.5 years, but I can let you know now that I did not cheat within those first 3 years of our relationship. So everything I just said was just catch you guys up a little bit so I can get to the story and it all makes sense. So to get to the juicy part, so the last thing I can actually remember doing, it was one of my friend's 21st birthday. She decided to throw a kickback at this hotel. So she invited a couple friends over. Long story short, I ended up Snapchatting some of the shenanigans that were going on, and I believe the part that ticked him off was when he seen the birthday girl and her close friend twerking on the bathroom counter. Now remind y'all, I wasn't twerking. If anything, I was just taking maybe 2 shots back, etc. Y'all know I'm a lightweight. 2 shots, that's it, I'm done. Took 2 shots, set my tail down, and just watch everybody else have fun, basically. So at the time, he's blowing my phone up, and I didn't honestly want to answer because I knew for a fact all he wanted to do was argue about what he's seen on Snapchat, even though I wasn't doing none of that stuff that I was recording. And then, like, not only that, being on Snapchat and without my charger, it was killing my battery. So eventually I did use somebody else's charger, and I just charged my phone up, and I just kind of left it there while I just sat on the couch and watched everybody else do their shenanigans. Let dude tell it later on in life. He said that it was some of the boys in the background that he noticed. He basically didn't want me there while they were there, kind of thing. Honestly, the only guys I were keeping conversations with were the 2 gay guys that were there. The straight ones that were there, like, they was just hood, and I know most girls like hood dudes, but me on the other hand, no, I'm sorry. I don't like them. I don't know why. I just don't like them. So I was just basically telling him like, okay, like I wasn't doing nothing with him. I barely said a word to him or blah, blah, whatever. And so that was that. After that hotel party, I went straight home. I didn't even spend the night, even though they said I could. I went straight home. And when I went straight home, like I was calling him and calling him. He wasn't answering the phone. And I'm just like, hello, are you there? I'm returning your call. I got my juice back on my phone. I'm trying to hit you up. Because I was actually going to link with him too. So he never did answer the phone. I go to the school apartment that we usually would link up at and just chill on some occasions. And when I got there, I seen him and his homeboy in his homeboy car and they pulled off. So while I'm calling him like, bro, I know y'all see me. Like, I asked him, was he in the car, blah, blah. And he was just saying like, doesn't matter, blah, blah, this and that. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Well, I'm going home. Went home. I ain't got time to deal with that. So I went home, etc. Now, all of this happened in August of 2016. Okay? August 2016. Fast forwarding the next month, September 2016. So now, let me back up a little bit. Literally. Now, in our times of dating, this guy had an iPhone. His iPhone eventually braked. So with that being said, there really wasn't a way for us to FaceTime each other anymore. So one night I just decided, well, I only had an iPhone and an iPad at that moment. So I was like, I'll let you borrow my iPad. I let him borrow my iPad. And this is where things started to come into the light. If a message, if a call, if a FaceTime comes to one of my devices, it's going to go to all the others. Now, while this guy had my iPad, I was at work and I noticed I would get different calls coming to my phone while I was working. He didn't have a job at the time. So I'm looking at my phone like, man, who are these numbers keep calling me? I don't know them. So whenever I got the opportunity to go on break, I would take my phone and call these numbers back. I only remember one particular number that I called back and they answered. It was actually a missed FaceTime. I FaceTimed that number back. And the only reason why I remember is because when the chick picked up, she was so freaking ugly, y'all. And I was just looking like, hey, you called this number? And I honestly can't think of what her response was. All I know is this girl was ugly. She had on a bonnet and a tank top and it looked like she was just leaning on something outside and had this ugly smirk on her face. And I'm just like, yeah, you called this number. And from what I can remember, they didn't say anything bad. They just looked at me and they hung up. And I'm just like, okay, maybe it was the wrong number. Okay then. I guess I ain't gotta worry about seeing that number again. Now, I want to say it was within that same break, I ended up calling him. All I can remember him asking is, how are you able to see these calls come through? And I'm just like, I've been an iPhone user for how many years? I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. So when I kind of explained that to him, which I shouldn't have, he just started trying to say that, oh, that girl was just his home girl. That was somebody he got advices from when it came to talking about me. And he needed a girl's opinion. And she's like a sister to me, etc. Child, boo. So, of course, my crazy tail just fell for it. Fast forwarding. He never released any names to me. He never really said much about her anymore, etc. So, I just thought, okay, maybe it is just a friendship kind of thing. Whatever. September. The next month, 2016, me and him decided that we wanted to go to the mall. I get to his house on my off day. Remember, he didn't have a job. I get to his house on my off day. So before we head to the mall, as we're chilling at his house, he said he needed to go somewhere in my car right quick. So I said, okay, cool. He goes out, get in my car, and go wherever he had to go. So while I'm at his house, I'm chilling, scrolling on my phone, and he had his blinds open. So while I'm scrolling on my phone, I just so happened to see at the corner of my eye a green Expedition pull up. And so I looked, and like the way they pulled up, like it wasn't no pull in just to back out because I got the wrong house. It was an all the way pulled in. When I say they pulled all the way in, they was like underneath the carport type of pull in. So I'm just like, well, dang, like what I'm supposed to do if they come knock on the door, bang on it, I don't know who that is kind of thing. And I didn't see the person who was driving. So I was like, well, yeah, they must definitely meant to be here, but I guess since they didn't see my car, and then he didn't have a car at that moment, they must thought nobody was home. So they dipped. And so when he came back to the house, I let him know like it was some car that pulled up in the yard, and I don't think they had the wrong house because they pulled in too far. And I was telling him about it, and I can't remember his response at that time, but shortly after we got our things together, hopped in the car, and now we're on our way to the mall. Not even 5 minutes up the street from his house. So I get a call to my phone, and I recognize the number. It was the same number that he said was his friend, his so-called sister number. Remind you, he don't even see that someone's calling me because I had my phone on my lap and my phone was on silent. I pick up the phone like, hello? I promise y'all, here she go. Like, I'm not even capping. Hello. So I'm just like, hello? And they was like, can I speak to such and such? And I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure, he's right here. Y'all, here I am proudly giving him his phone so he can talk to his friend. His sister hands him the phone. He takes the phone, look at the number, and hangs up. Red flag part 1. So I'm just like, why you hung up on her? And he was like, cause I don't feel like talking to her right now. Well, why didn't you just tell her that? I ain't gotta tell her that. Okay, so you hang up on your friend who you call your sister, and the reason for you hanging up is because you don't want to talk to her. Ding, 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 ding. All of a sudden, that's where stuff start coming to my head, like, nah, bro, there gotta be more than that. I ain't stupid. I was born at night, but not last night. So y'all, here comes the question. I asked him who. I asked him to give me a name. I asked him what it really was, what it is. I asked him, is that his sister? I asked him, was that really his friend? I asked him a ton of stuff. And basically all of those questions I started asking led to silence, led to us not wanting to go to the mall no more. Let's go back to your house so I can drop you off and I can go about my day. So we bust that Yui real quick. We get back to his house and I let him out. As soon as I let him out, I was headed home. I got up to maybe 12 minutes up the road heading back to my house, and then I thought about it. I said, man, let me go get my iPad because I do not believe this fool. I come back to his house. I didn't even call him, let him know, look, I'm on the way back to get my iPad and get whatever else I got over there. I'm on the way back to claim it since you act like you don't want to talk about whatever you got going on. I get there and he was shocked that I pulled back up, so I goes in the house with him and I asked for my iPad back. Of course, he refused to give it back to me. Then all of a sudden, that's when I just had to start asking questions. The questions that I should have been asked. Are you cheating on me? I need to know because don't be having me out here looking stupid. So of course he kept saying no, 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 no. And I kept asking the same questions but getting the same response. But you just know when you have that gut feeling. When you have that gut feeling, listen to it. Like, over the years, that's all I've been telling myself is listen to your gut because sis, you ain't crazy. He finally came to the conclusion and said yes, but just one time. And he looked like he was actually about to cry. And just saying just one time, that doesn't mean it's gonna hurt less. No, it's still gonna hurt, nigga. So as soon as he said that, I just burst out in tears and was just like, bruh, like it was not one time. Like, I know it's been more. Like, stop lying to me. He was like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 times. And after that, I'm just like, okay, I know it was more than that. Like, I ain't even gotta question you no more. So I'm just like, oh my god. So I just started crying because I ain't never felt that type of hurt a day in my life, especially when it comes to love, until that day. So I was so hurt, crying my eyes out, etc. Next thing you know, in the midst of all that, we hear a bang at the door or a doorbell ring, and I'm just like, oh shoot, who could that be in my head? Like, maybe it's his mom. So I just so happened to like kind of wipe my eyes and look out the window, and I see that same green Expedition, and now it all made sense. Well, again, at the time I didn't really know who was in the car, and as I'm drying my eyes, I'm just like, I'm about to go. So I took my stuff, and I'm trying to remember if he was like, oh, that's her right there, or he just still had this guilty look on his face. Regardless, I took my stuff and I head out the door. Y'all, when I headed out this door, and this chick got out the car, when I tell y'all, when she was ugly on FaceTime, this chick was just as even uglier in person. And I promise y'all, I'm definitely not saying this to make myself feel any type of better. In fact, if you guys want to see a picture of her, I am willing to send you guys a picture of this chick. If you want to DM me on Instagram, follow me on there too. I will send y'all a picture of this girl. Like, I was so disgusted. So I'm walking out the door. She gets out her car. Looks like she had the same thing on what she had from FaceTime that month ago. Had a black bonnet on, a tank top, and some dusty looking shorts. Her tank top looked dusty too. She was just a dusty hoe. I goes outside, all that crying and stuff I was doing, I should have been laughing like, this is it. And so I looked at him and then I looked at her. I said, this her? Is this her? And like, I noticed like as I was walking up to her, I wasn't even gonna hit the girl now. I'm walking up to her and I'm looking back at him as he was coming out the other door. I was like, so this is her? I looked at her and it seemed like she had a little smirk on her face, and when I looked back at him, he was showing all teeth. So as soon as I see him smile, like it's like they had some type of connection there, and like they was both like picking at me kind of thing. As soon as I see that nigga smile, y'all, I did the first thing that came to mind. So I looked at him, I said, oh, so you smile, you think this funny? And then I walked up to him. I mean, like walking real, I power walked to him. And out of nowhere, like, I don't know where this stuff came out of me. All I know is I lift my hand up and I smacked that nigga, bro. I smacked the dog stuff out of him, and as soon as I smacked him, he dropped all of his stuff, and as I was trying to walk away from him, he ran up behind me, grabbed me by my neck, and pulled me up like this, and he said something in my ear about something about hit me again, or you better not ever hit me again, or something. And the whole time he doing all of this in front of that thought. And not only that, like a few cars was driving past. So it was just like, oh my God, like this is so embarrassing. Like all of this happening at one day, like this is too much. I never had to go through anything like this with any dude, you know? So at that point, he let me go. I want to say he went back to his house to lock it up. So while he headed back to the door, she had already headed back to her car, still smiling, going on at the fact of what he just did to me. So I went walking up to her car on the driver's side, and while she in the car, she had her window down, and I was just asking her questions like, so how long this been going on? She was saying stuff like they've been messing around since April. Right. Okay, wait, first of all, you mean to tell me that party that I went to in August, you was tripping on me about being at a place just because they had some dudes there and I had no interest in? Honestly, that whole year you was just tripping on me about you being insecure only because of the fact you out here doing what you're not supposed to be doing. So all that stuff just started like coming in my head or whatever, and all I know is I don't know what words was said from her or what, but like all I know is I was just saying, well, get out the car then. Get out the car. Step out the car. I could not remember what was said, y'all. I wish I could tell y'all, but I want to say it was something she said, because when it comes to me and a female, especially if it's gonna be like on some get ready to fight type stuff, like if anything, I'm gonna try to talk it out. I ain't saying I'm coming to you as a woman type of thing, but I'm real about my stuff, you know? So like if anything, I'm gonna try to handle it professionally like a grown person would. But instead, these little chaps want to be out here talking out the mouth. So if you want to talk out the mouth, you know, like, I can hit your mouth. Get out the car. So I'm telling her, get out the car. She wouldn't get out the car. So I'm just stepping close to her car since she had the window down. I stepped up to her window, and out of nowhere, I just swung straight in the window bowl. And as soon as I swung through the window, here she go, gets out the car. Yeah, okay, I thought that would get you out the car. She gets out the car. Next thing you know, we going at it.
Oh, oh my God.
But my thing is, this is what kind of ticked me off. Soon as the ex seen us getting into it, this dude runs in between us. Would y'all believe that this nigga did not even try to back me off nothing? If anything, dude was trying to cover her up. I mean, making sure she don't get hit, she don't get no scratch or none of that.
Later on in life, his excuse for me not wanting to fight is because he didn't want me to break a nail. Boy.
And in my eyes, it made it seem like, oh dang, so you that protective of her. So at that point, I'm just like, dang, so you ain't gonna let me hit her? Is that what it is? And so like, he was like, you need to get her. She got me effed up. And I'm just like, well, I can get you more effed up, honey. Step into the light, Caroline.
Step into the light, Caroline. Step into the light, Caroline.
So at that point, bro, he kind of ended the little fight there. She hops back in her car, and we talking junk still to each other while she in her car. And as I glanced a little closer at her, she was like bleeding in the middle of her head, just looking mess. And y'all, she was really ratchet from the way she picked up the phone, answered the FaceTime call, and pulled up. Like the girl was real ratchet and ghetto. So here comes the next crazy point. So as she's in the car, he sits there and tells her, just leave and I'll just tell you when to come back. All this in front of my face, and I'm just like, at that point, I think I just walked away because I had to take a breather. And when she pulled out and left, here he come over there trying to talk to me, probably trying to butter me up. I was just still lost for words. We end up departing, and I went home. You know, I went home, of course, I cried my eyes out like, dang, I couldn't believe it, y'all. I went to work the next day, and I was working at my first call center at the time. When I tell y'all, I could not take a call for nothing. Every call I answer is like, good morning, thank you for calling. Like, I just had that crackly crying voice in my throat. Like, it was horrible. I had never experienced such a heartbreak like that. Like, y'all, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. Like, I just felt so horrible, felt so disgusted, felt like my whole world was crushing down. Like, it was the worst feeling experience ever. Now, outside of the first time that I had seen her in person, he had wanted me to come pick him up at those apartments that we used to chill at by the school. So on my way going to go pick him up, I noticed that I seen her coming from the same exact way, and I'm just like, okay, why the freak, where's she coming from? Like, did she drop this nigga off or something? As I seen it was her and she seen that it was me, she busts a U-E and like comes right behind my car. Y'all know me, I start slamming on brakes because I'm gonna get this wreck check, hello. But unfortunately, she wasn't following too close. So I gets down there to where he was. I took a little shortcut just to see if she was gonna follow me, and she kind of did but kind of didn't. So she took the other route and like we kind of like end up like right here. So I just paused my car, had my glasses on. I peeped over just to look at her in her window, and here she go doing neck rolls and just looking so ugly, hand on the steering wheel, like just doing the most. So I'm just looking at her like just chilling, like, girl, what's up? You trying to step out the car again or what? Like, I ain't even bother winding my window down or what, because ain't no telling what this hoe could have did. Not to mention I had just got my car that year. So I just stood there or whatever, and eventually she ended up pulling off. I goes over there where he was, he hops in the car, etc. And I believe I did question it, I just can't remember what his answer was about it. Me and him end up driving off, and some type of way she ended up finding us, and she started driving up behind us. And so he was just like, man, what is she doing, man? Park right here right quick. So we drove away from the school apartments and ended up parking in some type of storefront. We parked there, and she gets up beside my car, and he's saying something at her through the window. But all I know is he wind the window back up, and before she took off, she had a cup with something in it, and I don't know what it was, but it was sticky, watery, and it had Rello leaves in it. She took that and threw it at my car, y'all. And when I say I could have ran this hoe down, bruh, only reason I didn't choose not to was because I was looking cute. And at the time, you know, I really did care about my appearance. I still do, don't get me wrong. It's just that back then, like when I was looking cute and stuff, I wasn't in the mood to do all that fighting and stuff. But catch your sister now. Okay, catch me now. It ain't nothing to take off some heels. Okay, I am TTG, you hear it? She immediately took off because she knew what it was if I was to have happened to step out the car, and we know she ain't want no problem. So yeah, that was that, and me and him just started trying to talk out the situation, etc. But obviously that didn't work out. Coming to the rest of the stuff I'm about to tell y'all. So of course, you know, he would tell me like he don't talk to her no more, you know, he ain't doing this and that with her no more. It's just me that he's seeing his eyes, etc. So of course, you know, especially being that it was the first time of me finding out that he cheated with me, so I was just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna let it go, whatever. How stupid of me, I know. So eventually I did find out who the girl was. I found her Facebook page, and eventually over those months, September, October, November, like he would post something on his status, and she would post something on his page or anything he posted saying yo. Like that's all she would say is yo. And so like whenever we would talk on the phone or whatever, I would like bring it up like, is that girl? Like why is she saying stuff like that under your post or whatever? And he was like, I don't know, you see I ain't responded to it. And so that made me think, okay, well true, yeah, you didn't respond to it. And I do realize like even then, like I would try to tell him, well, why you even still got her on there? That's just a waste, and it's kind of embarrassing yourself. You got this ugly girl commenting on your stuff, which is the reason why you're probably not commenting back, because you don't want people to think that you hit that. You just need to delete her. A couple days later they would be friends again on Facebook, and I'm just like, bruh, of course that's gonna make me think something is still going on. Hello. But at the end of the day, I was just like, okay, whatever, that's just social media. He said he ain't doing nothing with it no more. Okay, cool, it's just me. Huh, whatever. So again, October, November, I'm thinking we good. Come December 2016, y'all, at my call center job, boss man called me to the office. Y'all, when the boss man called me to the office, I'm thinking he got some good news or he about to coach me on some stuff. Y'all, I went in the office just to get fired.
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off?
So when they fired me, I ain't tell my coworkers bye. I ain't say none of that. I just got my stuff and left, make it seem like I was going to the bathroom on break or somewhere. I get in the car like, dang, I can't believe I just got fired. Man, what made me so mad about the situation, they wanted to wait until that morning I clocked in. Remind you now, my job was about 40-45 minutes away from my house. Y'all couldn't fire me yesterday, but it's a good thing they didn't. So when they fired me, after I went outside back to my car, I'm like, dang, so what else I'm gonna do for today? Oh well, I might as well call bae and go to his house, whatever, okay? Thank God they fired me. Call bae, nigga wasn't answering. Called him again, wasn't answering. I called him like 3 or 4 times, he wasn't answering. I just wanted to let him know, like, look, I done got fired and I ain't got nothing else to do today, so I'm about to come hang out, chill with you. So since he never answered the phone, I said, oh well, I'll just pop up on him to see if he home. Y'all, tell me why I drive to this guy's house. First thing I see, what y'all think I saw? Right, you got it. I saw that same green Expedition. When I tell y'all, my heart was It was there, sis. Yes, it was there. I was like, done. Okay, so how I'm about to play it, what I'm about to do, etc. I pulled up to the yard, pulled all the way in. I walked up to the front door and banged on the door. I banged on the door. Here he come looking stupid. I looked down and he looked at me like, oh shoot, I done got caught again kind of thing. And I'm looking at him and the only words I told him was, yeah. He's talking about something, what's up? What's up? I'm sorry, what's up? That's all you got to say? Ain't nothing up, but you finna go. So I looked at him, and at the time he had owed me money. I think he owed me like $100. So I made it seem like that was my excuse of being there, because obviously it ain't for me to chill with you no more, because obviously you got somebody here inside the house with you chilling with. So I was just like, I came here to get my money. Or he was like, okay, I'll go get it. He said it just like that, okay, I'll go get it. So while he going to get it, I hope you don't think I'm about to stand out here. So I goes in the house, and he telling me why I gotta come in, and I'm like, because I want to come in. He said, oh, you just being petty. Okay, and if I am? So y'all, he claimed he was going to get something or whatever, but he ended up going to the bathroom, which is before you get to his room. So I just so happened to walk past the bathroom as soon as he turned in, and I was getting ready to walk in his room, y'all. Tell me why this little ratchet, ugly duckling thought sitting on the bed with her dingy pajamas on and that same tank top and bonnet. Y'all, this is how I was like. Soon as I seen it, I was gonna take that step in there, and next thing you know, bro, like grabbed my whole shoulder, my whole back, just held me back, y'all. And all I could do was smirk. So I'm just like, really? You really got her up in here, etc.? I mean, like, nigga, why you got this ugly girl in your room? And I'm just like, oh my god, like this stuff is really still going on. Now remind y'all, as soon as I was gonna step foot in there and we made eye contact, I promise y'all this is how she was. If you got this picture from me, just imagine that same face doing this. Yo, when I tell y'all, and that's the reason why I started smirking, for one, like, girl, you already ugly, like, why you gotta make these ugly faces, like, what the heck? So I'm just like, oh my god, like, this is ridiculous. And like the way she was making them faces and stuff, she was just basically looking like, okay, and yes, I'm here, what, you wanna hit me again? And do so step up out the room, bitch. So after that, me and him started to get in a little altercation, and we end up outside, and next thing you know, him and her, they end up in the altercation. Now basically me and her both outside, and he basically just kicked both of us out the house. And remind y'all, she has a kid. Her son was maybe, I want to say 2 or 3 at the time. It's not my ex, it's definitely not his, but it's just the fact, like, you out here doing all this and you know this dude got a girlfriend, you're still willing to still mess. I can never see myself messing with a girl's boyfriend. Like, how low can you be to do it? All these other dudes in this world, and you want to mess with somebody else's? Like, I can never understand that. Like, I would never do that. And like the fact that she can do that and she has a son, she think it's cute kind of thing. Like, no, ho, it's not. So yeah, while we're outside, for some type of reason, he end up coming outside and they end up arguing again. And all I know is they started like swinging at each other, and I mean like fighting or whatever. And I'm just looking at it like, what the crap? While they was fighting, and it's cold as a mug outside, they started fighting. So some type of way she ended up ripping this nigga jacket up. When she ripped his jacket, he got mad and smacked her in the face, and then that's when they just started going at it. And then he ended up making her fall on the floor. And then he was like, you wanna rip my, okay, I'm gonna rip yours up. And that little dingy tank top she had on should have been ripped up. He sit there and like literally grabbed her tank top and now her titties all out, and they saggy too, y'all. And it looked like both of them was pierced, but I guess like he knocked one of them out. So you like, oh heck, oh F, you done knocked one of my nipple rings out. But just imagine, yo, like, I'm right here supposed to be this nigga's girlfriend, and I see him outside fighting the side chick. Wow, what a view, you know? Some kind of way he ended up going back in the house, and I guess I was talking junk about both of them, and then they kind of like teamed up together. I don't know what, I can't really remember, but all I know is that he allowed her to go back in the house, and then when I tried to get in the house, he was like, you ain't getting up in here. Nigga slammed the door in my face, locked the door, and they was in the house for a good 15 minutes. And I'm just like, what the heck, bro? Like, so now that you know I know the side chick here, you're not even gonna have the decency to tell her to leave your house. You're gonna tell her to come back in the house, and ain't no telling what y'all doing behind those doors for 10 15 minutes. And I'm just out here wondering, like, what the heck? Like, should I leave? Should I stay? Wait till they come out? So my dumb tail stayed and waited until they came out. So she eventually came out first, and y'all, when she came out, she was just looking like a sad puppy, like her whole world had shut down too, kind of thing. And all that smirking and attitude she had when I first pulled up, she didn't have all that no more. And I had even said something sarcastic to her when she got out of the house. She didn't even say nothing back. She just simply got in her car and left. So I goes in the house now that it's open, and here he is still looking stupid. So while I'm in there, I'm getting on his tail, you know, I'm questioning him about the whole situation. And of course he was getting mad because I was calling him out on it and just basically still questioning, like, how can you mess with somebody like that? And after me talking so much junk, he basically said, say another word and I'ma hit you, kind of thing. And of course I didn't believe the nigga. He ain't never hit me before. So I kept talking junk. Next thing you know, he smacks me. And I'm just like, I was in total shock, honestly. Like, what the heck? This nigga really did just, what? So he did that, and right after he did that, he pulled out a gun that he had. He pulled it out and pointed it to my toes, telling me that if I said something again, he was gonna shoot my feet. So I stood there for a minute in disbelief. Then after that, I was just telling myself, girl, you need to leave. But as soon as I touched that door handle, he pulls me away from it, started touching on me, telling me I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen again, stuff I heard before. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, you was probably just in here doing that with her not too long ago, while you had me waiting outside 10 to 15 minutes. So he just started touching on me and stuff, and honestly he got himself hard for no reason. Turned that nigga on and left. Like, no, I'm not about to give you my goods after I just found all of this out on the day I got fired. So after all of that happened, here comes January, new year, you know, 2017, let's get it on and popping. Of course we was still back together talking or whatever. So January of 2017 is where your girl started noticing more things. I definitely noticed he did not stop messing with this girl. It would be times I would get calls out the blue. I could be with my family, we could be, you know, out having family dinner at a restaurant. I would get calls from this girl and she would just be on the phone just humiliating me, basically saying things like, oh, he with me, blah blah. Or the worst, I would sometimes call his phone and she would answer it. Like, how would you even allow yourself to have your side chick answer the phone? Like, most niggas know how to play a game. Well, you would think all of them know how to play a game, but this one here, that nigga was dumb when it came to stuff like that. And you calling your boyfriend thinking he's going to answer the phone, but whole lot let this other girl picks up the phone. Like, the crap. Then when I would confront him about it, saying I ain't know she had my phone, or sometimes he would be like, it was just on my lap ringing and she just picked it up. So, oh, so you allowed her to pick it up, like that was okay. It would even be times when me and him would just be chilling at the school apartments just to get away from her, because if we chilled at his house, it would be times that she would try to pull up late at night trying to act like she asking him for some weed. When we would be at the school apartment, she would pull up just to sit there and just stare at us like, what the heck, like who does that? Remind you, I had just got my car that year. When he started getting crazy and loco and damaging my things, dude started vandalizing my car. And he told me later on in life, recently actually, that he got that girl, the side chick, to bring him to my house just so he can scratch up my car, bust my tires. I remember this one night, I was just in my bed chilling, you know, minding my business. It was actually like 5 o'clock that morning. I hear my phone buzz off and it was a Snapchat notification, and I seen from the outside of my phone that it was from my boyfriend at the time. And I'm just like, I'm not even about to open it because of the fact, like, he don't never send nothing this early in the morning, so it has to be that hoe and ain't no telling what she's sending me. So I ain't even bother opening it up or nothing. Y'all, like an hour later, I guess he ended up getting his phone and seeing that something was sent from his phone to me. It caused me out of my sleep, and I was like, should I even answer this call, because it might be her again trying to, you know, manipulate me or whatever. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna answer that. And so he called again. I was like, okay, it gotta be him. So I answered the phone and he was like, bruh, what is you doing? Like, he was crying like a crackling voice. He was like, open your Snapchat. So I went to go open it. Y'all, it was 2 sex videos with him and that girl.
Oh, hell no!
And he was on the phone acting like he was so sorry about it. He felt so embarrassed. So obviously the girl took his phone, went through his Snapchat memory, and got a few of their sex tapes and sent it to me. And there also been time where that thought would call me while I was at work once I did get another job. I answer the phone from a number I ain't never seen. It's her. She'll answer it laughing and then just come out of nowhere saying, why your man just left my house? Y'all, I never in my life had to deal with such a childish, petty girl when it came to dudes until her ugly tail started coming around. Like, it was just like, what was the reason for all of that? He was always saying basically like the reason why they started effing with each other because like he would talk to her about me, etc. all the time, and then one day just out the blue while they was chilling, she just so happened to reach into his pants and just start giving him head. And ever since then, it was just like they just been F buddies kind of thing. Like, okay, it's from your sister to a thought. But let me get to the juicy part of the story. So yeah, let me just look at some things right quick, because y'all about to be like, oh no, that is not Kiana, but it was at one point in time because your girl was going through it. So here's the juiciest of the juiciest part. This put the sugar in the Kool-Aid. So March of 2017 is where things really got hectic, really showed a side of me that I've never seen myself, really basically took your girl out her character. So with these videos I'm about to be showing you guys from back in the day, just be aware some words were said that I definitely shouldn't have said, because those of you who know me and have been on my channel, y'all know I don't curse. But that moment there, oh, it was a whole nother ball game. And in fact, these videos that I'm about to insert as I tell this part of the story, I'm going to be beeping out some stuff, because just by me even going back to go relook at those videos, I haven't looked at those videos since I posted those in 2017 on Snapchat publicly. So it was very hard for me to actually go back and listen to it. I'm just like, just shaking my head the whole time. So yeah, I'm going to be beeping out the words that I said in there. So yes, it's been times where I would text my ex at that moment, and out the blue I would just send him stuff like, why she keep calling me, blah blah, like I will really beat the F out of that girl, etc. You know, it's been times she would see the messages and she would text me, oh, you said you gonna beat my A, blah blah. Yes, I'm glad you can read. At least I know there's something you can do, right? And of course I wasn't playing, because it seemed like she had the most mouth. She wanted to start the most drama by calling me, sending me stuff. But as soon as I see a little tail in person, oh, now you can't speak. Now you can't be sarcastic. Now you just looking foolish. You basically can't back up your words. So we went back to the school apartments just to chill there. And for what I can remember, we was just chilling, and I believe me and him had an issue with her early that day. All I can remember was I had on black leggings and a blue sweater and some shoes. So honestly, what that sound like? Them fighting clothes. And me and him end up going back to his house at night. Of course his mom was asleep. This is maybe 12 o'clock in the morning. So we in the car and we arguing. I was just yelling to the top of my lungs. Now remind you guys, I was already sick.
And y'all know I'm still sick as crap, and I'm still trying to fight this hoe. Like, what the f, bro? You got all this mouth, but as soon as I run up, you act like you can't even jump 2 feet. What the f?
I had a cold and everything, so instead of me trying to rest my voice and everything, I was just up there yelling, punching the air, because it's just me and him. And I'm just going crazy basically. After you done went through all of that, and then obviously I didn't leave the nigga alone, so I just basically, all that anger just built in. And now that I'm ready, oh yeah, like I'm really about to fight this hoe now. Because it's also been a time, I'm gonna insert a clip here, where she came to the house one day where me and him was just chilling, and she was mad because she seen my car in the yard. And so instead of having her come in, he goes outside, and he was basically telling her like, you can't come in here, I'm with her right now. And she gets out the car or whatever, and it's like she was like trying to walk up to him, trying to hit him and stuff, and I think she did hit him, and then like he ended up hitting her back or something, or trying to move her hand out the way, and he ended up leaving a big old bloody scratch on her face. So it's like every time you come to the house, sis, you get beat up, you leave with a mark, you leave bleeding or a bruise. Like, learn your lesson. But that was that. So yeah, back to the story. So I'm in the car going at it, screaming to the top of my lungs. I started cussing right then and there, like right in front of him, like, ooh, I can't wait, let this B pull up, let this B pull up. Like, bro, I was like going in, like, oh my god, that is not me. Some type of way he ended up in my back seat behind me, and when I was saying all that, I just so happened to peek back there where he was, and he was just looking at he wasn't even looking at me, he had the door open, just looking at the door like, dang, I ain't never seen her like this. Maybe this girl don't need to come over here, because she just might die tonight. That's how much I was going in, y'all. And I was just begging like, please come over here, like please come over here. Like, I got all this anger built up in me, I'm ready to hit a B, I'm ready to bust somebody up, all this and that. So long story short, the thought ended up pulling up. She pulled up. First thing I do is get out the car. Of course he telling me stay in the car, don't get out. Nah, freak that, I'm getting out the car. I gets out the car, and she didn't even pull her car in. She goes to the side of the car, and like when she seen me coming, she tried to like drive off. So she drove off and made like a U-turn around the street, and she came back.
Yeah, I've been trying to fight this all night. But tell me why she just playing games, bruh. Like, nah, bruh, what's up?
Here he go, pushing me out the way, telling me back the F up, all this and that, etc. First thing I do was, of course, try to get her out the car. She ain't trying to budge, she ain't trying to get out, she just looking at me. And I'm just up there telling her, like, you had all that stuff to talk and keep calling me, interrupting my day, because I wouldn't even be thinking about her. I'll just be right there minding my business on YouTube or something, and I get calls and texts out the blue from her, like, you want to make my day bad. So, okay, let me make your night, let me make your life horrible. So she never did get out the car, and just for her to keep making U-turns, and then, like, I guess since my car was out the way, out of his driveway, since I had followed her, when we came back around to his house, she ended up pulling in the driveway. She pulled in the driveway, and what do you think happened? This nigga gets in the car, and I'm just like, so you really just gonna get in the car? What you getting in the car for? Now, remind you, while he was in the car, like, I seen that he had clothes in her car. So I'm just like, oh, so you be spending the night at this whole house too? Like, is this what you been doing, kind of thing? So he would have clothes in her car. His clothes would be in her baby's car seat. The thing that really pissed me off again was that he hopped in the car with this side chick in front of my face. And so when he hopped in the car with her, as I still tried to, like, get her out, I guess they thought, like, shoot, well, I guess she gonna leave now if we pull off, kind of thing. No, I'm not. I end up staying in my car, and I even made room for them to get out, because wherever you go, I'm gonna go. So I stayed in my car, and I'm just looking at them from a distance while they in the car. They was in there smoking or whatever, and I'm just chilling, looking right there. And I guess he noticed, since I wasn't, like, leaving or whatnot, that's when he would get out the car and try to come walk to mine and tell me, bro, just go home. I didn't want to go home because somebody was gonna get their booty beat regardless. I wasn't playing. And so after he came out the car just to tell me that, he ended up going back to her car. When he goes back to her car, I gets out of mine and walk up to hers, and just for proof, this is what happened.
Look at her, y'all. She won't even come out the car. I'm trying to open it and everything. She being this is her right here.
So obviously the hoe wouldn't budge. She wouldn't get out the car, none of that. Kept trying to drive past me. I would try to block her.
I even blocked this hoe behind me, bruh, cause she keep trying to drive past, like, get out the car, dog. I've been trying to fight you for the longest. Come on.
It even came time to where they did actually leave his house. They went to the gas station. Who was right behind them? Me. I was right behind them at the gas station, winding the window down, and still trying to get her to come out, but she did.
Look at that, y'all. Look at that mother. That's just pitiful as crap.
And in that clip, as you can see from the other side of her door, it opened, and that was when my ex was getting out, because he was getting ready to come over there where I was, and it looks like he was about to throw something at me or something. And he did spit on my window that night too. So after the gas station, y'all, I was legit following them for a good 2 or 3 hours, and I was not gonna give up until my hands touched somebody's face. And so after he realized no matter how far they drove, I was gonna be right behind them, and I mean gas tank on E, y'all. Gas lighting came on and everything, but I did not care. If I was gonna end up on the side of the road, I probably would have still walked the rest of the way just to catch up with them. Like, that's how heated I was. After they realized I wasn't gonna stop, I noticed, like, they got out of the city. I'm riding with them. Okay, shoot, guess we on a road trip, field trip. Where we going? They out of their city, and then they get to mine. Now I live like 15-20 minutes away from him, and I was like, oh Lord, where they going? Either they gonna ride past my city, or they gonna stop at my house. I'm driving right behind them. Here they go, bust a left onto my road. We got to my crib. They parked in front of my house. Parked in front of my house, and I'm parked behind them in front of my house. And I'm just like, okay, y'all done came to the wrong spot now. Now I really feel like I got the freedom to do anything I want to now, because y'all on my property. Like, they really didn't think that out. So we get there, I get out the car, I start acting crazy. Here's another clip for proof.
Y'all know it's crazy. I'm still out here chasing this hoe, and she didn't even came to my house and still ain't getting down. Look at her.
And right even before I filmed that clip, tell me why this dude gonna whole lot get out the car and felt the need to actually go knock on my parents' door like he was right. And before he even like walked there, he was like, I'm about to go tell your mom and them come get you because they did not raise you like that. Like, and didn't, but let me tell you what did, Rose. What you did, you raised hell. And just because you raised hell, I'm about to show y'all hell. Welcome to hell. So he went to my front door thinking it was gonna do something or whatever. First of all, my little brother, he already heard me outside starting to ride or whatever. He must thought he had a bad dream and just so happened to wake up and heard all the shenanigans going on outside. I guess that's when he actually went to go wake up my mom and dad, because he didn't really know what was going on. He went to go get them, And my mom and dad came outside, and now, as y'all seen the time, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And they just looking like, they, of course, they don't know what's going on. All they see is a green expedition in the yard, and they ain't never seen it. I think my mom had ended up going back inside the house, but my dad, he stood out there. He stood out there and was just basically saying, look, I'm about to call the police, leave my yard, blah, blah, this and that. And then, like, the whole time, my ex was just trying to tell my dad, I'm just saying, like, can you please tell her to stop following us? Nigga, you, first of all, again, I don't even know why you chose to come to my house in the first place. First of all, you know my parents don't like you. So if anything, you made a mistake right there by choosing to come to my house, especially with another chick. And then it's early in the morning now. So eventually, y'all, we stayed out there. Like, even when my parents went back in the house, we stayed out there for like another hour and some change. Eventually, he stayed in the car with her. It was at times like she forgot that she didn't lock the back door. So as soon as I opened it, I hurried up and reached in there. But then he would try to like jump through the back seat just so he can hit me or push me out or something like that. Y'all, that night, like, he pushed me so many times, like on rocks and gravel, cement, all of that. Like, I was so bruised up, but even though I was bruised, it's like I didn't feel any of that stuff because my blood was already boiling and like I was already heated in the moment. I was mad, but best believe that next morning, y'all, my body was so freaking sore, and I didn't even get to fight that night. It was just the fact like he kept pushing me on the ground and stuff. But y'all, it was terrible that next morning. Not even that, like I said, I was already sick, so like my voice had ended up going away completely, and I had a hoarse voice for like 3 days, no lie. The end of the story to that night, eventually he got out the car with her and he hopped in my car. So he in my car trying to calm me down, like, MJ, man, just stay calm. Like, obviously this has to be your second girlfriend. You whole lives be staying the night at the house, sleeping in the same bed with her and her son. That seemed like a whole family to me. If this not the type of girl you want to show around to your boys or bring around to your family events, if it's just a hit and quit, then that's all it should be. This new generation of niggas, or maybe just that one, every time I would tell this story to other friend boys, they would be like, oh yeah, he's stupid, he don't know how to play the game. But yeah, but I guess since the girl noticed like he was in the car with me for a good 20 minutes, she ain't feel like waiting on him or whatever, so she ended up leaving without even warning him. And he was mad about it because of the fact like he left his weed in her car and she drove off with it. So basically she kind of stole from him, kind of thing. So she ended up leaving. I guess she was tired throughout the night, because even in the car, like I said, I had all the energy in the world. Like, I was ready, I was TTG. I would notice like every time I would come to the car to bang on her trying to get her out of it, like she would yawn every now and then, like, nah, don't be tired now, ratchet, get out the car. Being that he didn't have a way home, because she was supposed to be his ride to go, I believe, so I ended up taking him home. At this point in time, it's probably like 5 o'clock in the morning. I ended up taking him home, trying to drop him off, and he just started trying to talk to me. And then I don't know, like, I just started crying again, and then he even started crying. Like, we both in the snotty nose, eyes about bloodshot red. You know how they do, apologizing and telling me to look in his eyes while he hold my face. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, this and that, la, la, la. I mean, he was crying hard too, and I'm just like, bruh, like, I can't keep believing this. Like, you keep doing all this and expecting me to stay with you, and like, bruh, the more you do it, like, this not gonna make me stay. Like, this is definitely a way to go that's gonna make me fall out of love with you. But of course, I fell for it, and so we end up going in the house, chilling, whatever, probably did some extra stuff. And all I remember is while we was in his room, the blinds were open a little bit. He didn't see it, but I seen that green expedition, her pull up to his yard again. And at this time, it had to be like 5:30 going on 6 o'clock. She pulled up to his yard, and I guess when soon as she seen my car, she hurried up and pulled back out. And honey, sis, at the end of the day, he played both of us, okay? We'll talk now, and sometimes out of nowhere, I'll just be like, bruh, do you not realize how bad you did me back in the day? And he'll just be on the phone like, huh, here you go, talking about that old stuff. I don't care how old it is, I ain't gonna never forget that day. So yeah, y'all, that was like the most I've ever went through with a guy in my life, especially when it came to a female. And the fact that I went through that, I felt like it made me more heartless to a lot of things nowadays, because eventually in 2018 I found out he was not only messing with her, he had started messing with some other girls within that year. Year 2017 is where I did retaliate sooner or later on that December. You know, if you was at least going to cheat on somebody, and I think every other girl can agree with this, she could have at least been a better chick. Not even bad, like she could at least had something going on with herself. This girl ain't do nothing with her life. All she did was smoke weed, pop up to his house while I was there begging for weed like a crackhead. I don't know, it's just like after a while, after you keep finding stuff over and over again, you become heartless. You just don't care anymore. So 2018, you know, I kind of revamped myself and came back to me. But 2019, man, what? You talking about some... And I honestly felt so good about it. But yeah, y'all, that about sums up this story time. And I still to this day feel like I am the only girl that ever went through something so horrible as such. If I'm not, and you guys have similar stories or just other stories regarding a dude cutting up out here, please feel free to leave them down. I would love to read them because I just want to know that I'm not alone. But I hope you guys like this video in some type of way. Again, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And if you guys want more story times, definitely let me know below, because I don't want to have to feel like I'm talking, just telling you guys my business and y'all not tuning in. So definitely let me know. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. I'm Kiana J. Whoop. Be easy.
Cross, shoot it at like we bishop. Ain't no games, ain't no bullshit. Put in the work and we get it. Making a bag with my niggas. Stack it up, then we flip it. Stay quiet, handle business. Don't get trust new niggas.